hmm there's a lot of very good companies out there, Mm. and of course, Vanguard seems to be one of the low expense funds. Yes. Index funds. Now, of course, they publicize the actual annual expense. Yeah. And they would say, well, we have no idea. There's no possible way that you could jack in right now. How are you? Oh, now somebody thought that they would sew in, yes, to the assets of the world. And what we don't know doesn't hurt us. Yes. And in their thoughts, well, we have the absolute best technology. There's no possible way that you could hack into an API. But it seemed that some technology companies that sell APIs, they do know about the coding, and it's possible that without your knowledge, yes, they could take a tenth of percent a year and you wouldn't know it. Yes. It's kind of like that Superman show, Lex Luthor. Yes. Where Richard Pryor, he takes that half a cent off of each of the investments. Yes. Buys himself a Ferrari. Now, I'm really wanting to look at these $23 trillion worth of assets today. Yes. And for every time that somebody decided, well, I'm going to use my technology to just take that penny that nobody accounts for. Yes. Because they round to the nearest second or third. Well, it's usually like 29.333. Yeah, 333. Now, listen, dog. My wife's opinion of my mental health is not admissible in court. And unless the judge had actually given me notice of court hearings, and they personally thought that I had some sort of mental issue, yes, you can't say an individual's crazy. Now, she's not an expert, yes, in mental health. No. And this thought that I thought everybody has a chip in them and that it was the end of the world and I was talking to the TV. you know, I just want you to understand that for any person that accuses another person of domestic violence, yes, child abuse, that says the guy's crazy, yes, he's crazy. Their opinion of the mental health of their spouse is not admissible in court. Yes. Now, of course, if you'd given me notice of court hearings, yeah, in 2011, if you'd actually not issued the protection order in 2012 because of the opinion of the petitioner that I broke the protection order, yes, when I was found not guilty, let's go ahead. If you hadn't put it in the Squim Gazette in 2013, yes, and then she said she mailed it. Oh, and then the sheriff called me. And then there's that protection order that you issued in 2015 that said mental health evaluation based upon your expert opinion of myself. Now, this idea that you as a sheriff are going to say somebody's mentally ill without having that, you do know, is that right? Yeah, we're admitting to court, yes, the expert opinions of those that are not licensed, educated. They have no degree in mental health. There's nothing qualifying them. Now, I'd like you to remove your fraud today. And then I'd like to be removed from your oppressiveness as law enforcement. Yes. And for every time that you said anything about my mental health, yes, I'd like to have you sued. Ooch! I'd like to have you put in prison. Oh! Now, I know you're thinking about running out and buying another power tool. Yes, he does. So why don't you get me the consumer credit of all of those in law enforcement? Yes. That gives them any credit to go to any department store, hardware store, yes, or any big box store to buy anything. Because you thought, yes, we'll just kill the guy. Now, I would like it if you'd enforce the requirements of the law. Just get me all those softwares that manage all those assets. Yes. I'd like to know if some Gil decide to help himself to a few extra $1 billion a year because what they don't know. Oh!